Hey guys, story time. One weekend, our good buddy Jerry, shout out to Malone Construction, stopped in town thinking he was on his way to Arizona, and then we convinced him to help us build this entire drawer system. So either he's a really good friend or we are just really terrible carpenters. But either way, we really just want to thank Jerry for all of his help. Without him, I think this would have taken twice as long and been a little bit wonky. So I would best describe this drawer build system as one decision at a time. By that I mean, we knew that we wanted the overall width of the platform to be about 48 inches wide. That's your standard sheet of plywood, makes it simple, keeps it straightforward for us. We also knew we wanted the overall length or depth of the drawer system to be about 76 inches. That gives us a little bit of wiggle room for our 6.5 foot bed. We split it down the middle with another 2x4. That gave us 2 drawer systems. Now, because we built it the way we did, kind of one decision at a time, we initially just split this in half to give us a little extra support. We knew that we were gonna have, obviously, an almost 1,000 pound camper sitting on top of this. So we wanted to give it that extra brace. We then went and threw one in back here. This gave us about approximately 38-inch drawer. What we thought after we did this was, hey, we can cheat this back a little bit and give us about a 48-inch to 50-inch drawer here. Splits the difference. We still felt comfortable with the amount of support we had for the camper. But if we could go back, we might possibly cheat this back and throw a couple extra supports back there. But it's neither here nor there. We have a larger drawer on this side, which is our kitchen. And then we have a smaller drawer over here, which is our recreational goods. Works for us, but if I was you, maybe do a little extra planning ahead of time and not take it one decision at a time. Okay, so let's talk about the exterior finishes we slapped on these drawers. For aesthetics, we used rubber diamond plate and aluminum angle iron. Some of the hardware we used, we went ahead and used some heavy duty handles. And we also put this little locking mechanism system. We know this is not adequate for security, but essentially all that this serves, its sole purpose, is to really keep these drawers from wiggling loose and being found somewhere on the I-70 corridor. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention our trusty friend, the bottle opener. All right, enough about the outside. Let's take you inside. The cooking area where all the magic happens. We only have 3 inches of depth in these drawers. As such, we went with the Covea Slim Twin Propane Dual Burner. Why? This specific cooktop is only 2.5 inches total depth, which is beautiful. So we can easily open and close it, no issue. But I needed to be able to really reach these controls. So what Chris went and did was did a little cutout here for me. Very kind of him. So now I can reach all of the controls, turn it on, still have access without having to wiggle this around. Speaking of wiggling around, what Chris also did was went and plopped in, I'll show you here, this here bar. This keeps the stove from sliding back and forth in transit or while we're using it. Really cool. So we had a bit of a problem. We didn't know where to put the propane can for this cooktop. What Chris thought to do was open up a hole right in the bottom of the drawer. So now what we do is we flip this closed, pop it through, and we can screw the propane on from underneath. We had just enough space behind the cooktop that we decided to put some utensil holders. Here I got these off of Amazon, and they are just plastic holders secured by some command strips. They have our, of course, cooking utensils and our eating utensils. That way we keep them in place, they're not sliding all over the place. Next, we have our trusty spice drawer. Chris found this at a home goods store and really helped us out. I can give this a little open. You'll see that we have all of our spices nicely organized, nicely labeled, and in one place. Really, really handy for not having salt and pepper shakers rolling around inside the drawer. And what is a kitchen without a cutting board? Here we have this cutting board which currently sits right on top of our sink. Our original plan was to go ahead and find those tabletop risers and stick those on so that we could pop it up, get it out of the way without having to move it entirely. The problem was the ones that we ordered had a 4-inch total depth whenever they were completely collapsed, so they didn't work because if you remember I told you we only have 3 inches to work with in this drawer. So if anyone has any recommendations for any tabletop risers, those little hydraulic, boop, pops them up, please comment that down below if they are 3 inches or less whenever collapsed. Otherwise, what we're going to do is essentially do what we've done with this cooktop securement and build a little bit of a lip on either side so that this baby sits flush. We think that'll work, but we'll see. Either way, it's really awesome to have this tabletop area where we can cook, cut, we can put our dishes and all of that good stuff, and then we have a sink down below that we can transport. We also just keep our good old Pam cooking spray, which hopefully never explodes in the winter. If you ever see a video where it did explode, we'll let you know. Next, we have some low profile pots and pans. Whenever we were originally truck topper camping, you know, when we first started our journey in truck camping, we just had a topper, and what we did was we would have a bunch of bin systems. Part of that bin system that we had included a lot of disposable goods. We eventually learned that we could not rely on disposable goods. It's a lot of trash, not good for the environment. So what I wanted to do was find some small, low-profile plates that we could nest right inside of these pans. So we got these little bamboo ones, and they're working out just fine. Inside of here, you'll see this is just for the pot and pan. This is a handle that we can transfer back and forth. Now, I might look into finding a second handle because I've already inadvertently grabbed this pot when the handle wasn't attached and burned the heck out of my fingers. So we're gonna look for that, but right now we just have the one. Now, like we said, we made this drawer our recreational drawer. It's a little bit shorter than that drawer, which is our kitchen, but it's also the same depth. We have 3 inches to work with. So what we've done is went ahead and used this drawer for our nets. We have some rod holders, some rods. We have, of course, our reels and some other miscellaneous gear like hammocks. We can throw some other fishing items in there. This really could be used for whatever you need. It could be a seasonal drawer that you swap out based on winter, spring, summer, fall, whatever activity you partake in the most. But really great to have this in here so we're not putting it in the back of the truck, and more importantly, we're not stowing it inside the camper. Well, that's it for us today, friends. Thanks for watching. Next time, we're going to take you inside, show you some projects that we have going on, some fun improvements. If you didn't know, now you know, we have a fleet shell model, so there's a lot of upgrades to come. Keep watching, we're going to take you on adventures and kind of see where this channel leads us. If there's anything you want to see, comment down below. Everything that I talked about today, if I can find it on the internet, will be linked down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep watching. Until next time, we're mounting up.